energy, globalism, and diversification. I'm your host, Attila Seress, and with us today is Cary and Brandon Bennett. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Now, our show is being streamed live on Ustream.tv and Spreaker.com, and these links are embedded in our website, ThinkTechHawaii.com. So to get these live streams, just go to ThinkTechHawaii.com. And of course, if you want to join the conversation, what we're talking about today is how Happy Hour Pal is changing Hawaii. You can give us a call at 296-5467. That's 296-5467. And of course, if you want to join us in our downtown studio, give Jay Fidel a call. His email address is jay@fidel.com. That's jay@fidell.com. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Now, Happy Hour Pal, it seems like you guys have been getting a lot of press, so we're very honored to have you on the show here. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Carey and Brandon. This looks like it's a family business, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a kind of a husband-wife team. I am originally from Indiana, Midwest girl, and graduated from Indiana University. And right after college, moved here and
Upgraded, yes.
yes,
Slightly.
yes, definitely. Met Brandon, and I worked at a startup in LA for a couple of years, a tech startup, and then came here and just started to think about
What else you could do,
Yeah.
right?
And I was, when we met, I was at Pepperdine University studying something completely non-technical, political science, and graduated, knew we wanted to move back to the islands. We came back out here, and in my first few months living back in Hawaii, I was unable to find any gainful employment, so I learned to program on YouTube.
YouTube, okay.
Yeah, that's actually where I learned everything. So when we get into the details of the apps and the website and all that stuff, I'll kind of share that story. But yeah, everything was learned on YouTube in the beginning, and it is now a mobile application serving the community.
Yeah.
And your big news, right, is how your app went from a small Hawaii-only app and now is national, right?
Yes, that's the biggest change we've made of late.
since May 1st. Yeah.
Yeah, since May 1st, it was the official launch of the national version. It came with a name change. It was originally called Happy Hour Hawaii, so that obviously necessitated a change in name to go national with it. But that's something that we kind of anticipated in the very beginning. So yeah.
So now that you've made it, so this is your big success story, right?
Yes.
Is that you're just two, happy couples, shining and, bright smiles,
Yeah.
and you guys, get on YouTube, figure out how to make an app, right? Now, I've gone on YouTube to change like light bulbs and stuff.
I learned how to tie a tie on YouTube. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was my first learning
He did, I
experience.
think, for graduation.
Yeah, it was. It was for graduation.
Wow. Like a
terrible.
real tie, or was it like a bow tie?
No, it wasn't a clip-on or anything. It was like a real, no, not a bow tie, like a full tie.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I had no idea how to do that. I wasn't very popular. Didn't go to school dances or anything. No.
Well, that made you a better programmer, right? There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how it came to be. Actually, like the original inception of the website and app was from when we first came back. Carey was working from home. I was trying to find a decent job, and we found ourselves trying to find inexpensive places to go out and eat to save money and have a good time together.
Yeah, and we were saving to get married. We moved back. His family's here, so we lived with his family because he was finding a job. I still worked for the tech company that I was working for in LA. I moved from here to LA to be with him while he was going through college.
And you were telecommuting. They let you do that?
Yeah, for
Wow.
3 more years.
Yeah.
So I worked 3 years here, 2 years in LA before I started doing this. But we were saving money for the wedding. He didn't have a job, so we were living with his parents. Trying to get settled, and we started going to happy hour that was like our date night because we couldn't afford to go to like a whole big meal, so we would go to happy hour, and we kept going to the same thing over and over, and it was hard, I found, to find new places for happy hour, to know what was available before I went.
So that's when you talked to the newspapers, right?
So then I contacted the Star Bulletin at the time and said, hey, can I write a happy hour article to do reviews? And they're like, sure. I'm like, really?
First email she sent out, and they responded with an absolutely.
Yeah,
Here's your
so
column.
it was a weekly column called the Pauhana Patrol, which is still running, in the Advertiser. And so then I just, every single week went to a different happy hour and learned about them. And
But you wanted to do research beforehand,
yeah,
right?
I wanted to do research before. I wanted to know, do they just have drinks? Do they have food? Like, what's going on? So I started researching. I'm like, oh, this is taking a lot of time. I just wish we had one resource with the full menus and prices for happy hour, so I knew before I went. And that's when I told Brandon, and he's like, well, I'm at home, maybe I can go on YouTube and figure out how to build a website. And then it just started from there.
So he's unemployed, sitting at home, watching YouTube videos all day.
All day.
And how did that work? So you just started following what they were doing, or did you take notes, or was it a structured learning plan?
So it was, I mean, it was basically from absolutely nothing. It was, I really think there should be a website that has happy hour information. I kind of dabbled online for a few days thinking about a humanitarian assistance website and stuff like that, but I hadn't really committed anything. And I started looking on YouTube for ways to get hosting and the domain and all this stuff. So at first I got the domain, and I was like, okay, I have everything I need. And then I found out that you need hosting, and I didn't understand that. So I kind of went through the process of knowing absolutely nothing with my political science background to kind of waddling in.
Just, you're going really fast maybe for some of our listeners. So let's because I'm sure some people are taking notes right now. They're saying, wow, I have this great idea for this website. So you said a domain, so that's the .com name, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay. And then the hosting, so you learned what hosting was. That's where you put your actual files and your information for your website. Okay, got it.
So yeah, we registered happyhourpal.com as the domain name.
Good domain
Happy
name.
Hour
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Oh yeah, Happy Hour Hawaii at the time, I'm sorry. And it was actually only available.
It was only available for a couple months. Somebody let it go on GoDaddy. And we found it, and it had only been available just for like 2 months. And we're like, it's $10 a month, okay.
Clearly the Super Bowl commercials with the scantily clad woman.
Yeah,
work,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Danica Patrick,
Patrick,
you know, Indy 500, I'm from Indiana, so
There
I've
you
seen
go.
her race.
Yeah. So, and then we got the hosting, and at first it started out as a very static website. It was just kind of cataloging Carey's reviews of these restaurants and these happy hours, and it was kind of a one-directional push, Here's Carey's review of this restaurant. It was obviously on the Star Bulletin in the newspaper, and was also posted on the website. And then we started talking. I think we were at happy hour when we had this conversation. We started talking about how cool it would be if we could actually have the user search for items, or have the happy hour information kind of a content management system where the restaurant would be able to log in, add the information themselves, edit the information themselves. And so it kind of became an interface for the restaurants to put the information on themselves so that we didn't have to manage everything. It's all built in PHP, so it's all a MySQL backend database. And then I built kind of an interface where the restaurants could log in kind of, like any other, Facebook, Twitter kind of thing, where they create accounts and do that kind of stuff.
So you guys don't have to physically go to the restaurant and say, give me your menu.
No.
They go in there.
No, yeah, we've done a lot of research on that. We're always there to help them update it, but we made the back-end system so easy that you can literally update your entire menu, your social media, your photos, everything within 2 minutes. So, I mean, it's completely editable. You can add more items, and, they log in, we log in and help them, and we just wanted to make sure that our content was stronger than any other resource as far as having the most up-to-date information.
Yeah. And there's no one else doing some sort of happy hour.
Not like this. I mean, some of them have happy hour. There are a couple happy hour apps out there in the community, in various communities. A lot of them are local, but what we've found that makes us very different from a lot of these is that they don't have actual details of what's on the menu. It's just kind of like $4 drinks, $3 appetizers from 5 to 7.
And when you see that in an app or on the website, everything starts looking the same.
Yeah, every restaurant starts looking the same at that point.
Yeah, I'm actually going to fire up Happy Hour Pal. I brought in my tablet so I have a bigger screen.
Yeah, no worries.
And I was looking at it the other day, and it was very cool. Come on, rotate. And I think the idea is like you said, you can see what is a $4 poo-poo, right? Mm-hmm. Because you're not getting a microwave burrito. Maybe you're getting like something more substantial.
Right.
So, yeah.
And on the actual website, there's an entire search system. So and this is
it's the Android app.
This is the Android app. But if you go to the website, you go to the search system, say I want fries at 4 o'clock on Tuesday in Waikiki, it will show me every location with the item and the price that has the word fries in it. So the content is actually added in, not by PDF, but manually added in, because every word is a keyword search. So if I wanted to list every location that has Heineken in it, then I can literally find every location that has Heineken and see their prices.
And so, I mean, this sounds great and all, but I think your real success is the way that you've been able to prove the technology here, and then get mainland companies interested. So tell me a little bit about that. What's been your expansion?
So yeah, I mean, when we designed it, it was originally, it kind of evolved, right? So we got the website, and then we started building that, and then it kind of turned into mobile applications as it became more popular, and we got requests for those. And then we started, it kind of conceptualized in our minds that we were going to end up expanding this. We figured that we were going to get some attention from other cities, and then that they would request this kind of feature, because Hawaii is such a tourist destination. People come, they use it, and then they want to have it when they're back home. So we fielded a lot of requests of people to do this in their particular cities.
And I want to talk some more about those cities, but we have to go to a break. Can you believe it? That's all right. Got to do it sometime.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
Well, you're listening to ThinkTech Friday here with Cary and Brandon Bennett. We're talking about Happy Hour Hawaii, or Happy Hour Pal. And stay tuned. We'll be back after the break.
760 KGU.
Part of the Wall Street Business Network.
Lots of rain in the mountains, so if you're going to the windward side on the Pali, the Like, the H3, expect wet roads and poor visibility in places. The drive east to Hawaii Kai is normal. Going west, the H1 slows at the Eva end of the airport viaduct. The Moanalua slows at Moanalua Gardens. That heavy traffic lets up when you get out to Ka'ahumanu. Inbound traffic from the west is slow from Middle Street to the Pali exit downtown.
ThinkTech Hawaii is a Hawaii nonprofit corporation organized in the year 2000. Its purpose is to raise public awareness about the importance of technology, energy, agriculture, and globalism to the diversification and expansion of our economy. We do this by television shows on community television and on OC16, by newspaper articles, and by our ThinkTech radio series on KGU 760 AM. We also do it by panel programs and events, including our monthly luncheon programs with the Hawaii Venture Capital Association. ThinkTech, working to raise public awareness in Hawaii. Check us out at thinktechhawaii.com. ThinkTech Radio is also brought to you by InmoB. Since its inception in 2007, InmoB has grown to become the world's largest independent mobile advertising network, serving over 100 billion mobile ads to date. It has built its product in parts of the world where the mobile phone is not just a screen, it's the only screen. After launching in the US and Europe in 2010, InmoB has more than doubled its global network from 7 billion to 60 billion impressions monthly, and has offices on 4 continents, in Bangalore, Johannesburg, and London, in Nairobi, New York, and Paris, in San Francisco, Seoul, Singapore, and Tokyo. InmoB.
Listening to ThinkTech Friday. Just in case you missed that part, we're back. We're live. You're listening to ThinkTech Friday, and here with us in the studio today is Cary and Brandon Bennett. We're talking about this new application and business that they built out of necessity called Happy Hour Pal, and you were telling us about how, as a broke young couple, we had to go and find those happy hour deals. Hey, it's fair. Costco's got the $1.50 hot dog that's had it for a long time.
It's pretty tasty.
For a reason. Yeah, it is.
I've had it.
Well. And of course, talking about all these great microwave burritos and drinks and all these things you can get it during happy hour. I think Jay has an announcement, something to do with healthcare.
Well put, Attila. Well, it's not exactly the same thing, although there's a connection between healthcare and happy. If you're happy, you don't need as much healthcare, I think. But we have healthcare in Hawaii coming up next Thursday, June 27th. The subtitle is, "If you think healthcare is expensive now, wait till you see what happens." This is a ThinkTech Hawaii Venture Capital Association luncheon program on Thursday, June 27th, starting at 11:30. So our panel is going to discuss exactly what's going on with the Affordable Care Act. And I guess another subtitle is the Affordable Care Act really affordable for Hawaii? Our moderator is Ginny Pressler. She's the Executive Vice President of Hawaii Pacific Health. And that is Kapiolani Hospital and also Polimomi. And our panelists are really stunning. Tom Matsuda is in the Office of the Governor. He's the Affordable Care Act Implementation Manager. Hilton Rathel is Executive Vice President of HMSA. You've heard of them. Steve Robertson is Executive Vice President of Hawaii Pacific Health. Again, that's Kapiolani Hospital. Matt Delaney is the CEO of the Hawaii Group, a businessman. Gordon Ito, how about this? The Insurance Commissioner of the state of Hawaii. And my personal favorite, Nadine Tensal. She's a doctor, solo doctor, and the president of the Hawaii Independent Physicians Association. So this is going to be a very candid, maybe a little scary discussion about what's going to happen to healthcare in Hawaii with the Affordable Care Act coming online. We're already in the transformation, and it is going to catch up with us. It's going to affect everybody, every doctor, every hospital, every insurance company, and every single patient. And if you care about your health, including your happy health, this is the best place to be on June 27th for lunch. So sign up at hvca.org. You guys, that means you. Back to you, Attila.
Well, thank you for that sobering moment.
Exactly.
Now what were we talking about? Chili fries?
Yeah, we were actually, yeah. And beer, of course.
Chili fries, beer, and what's like a popular happy hour?
What's one of your favorite ones?
As far as like a location?
Well, just like food.
Oh, okay. Obviously, calamari is huge.
Calamari.
Yeah, I mean, I always get that. Sushi.
Yeah, locally we get a lot of fish.
A lot of fish, mussels, basically all seafood. That's my go-to. Is whenever I see a seafood dish, I check that out.
And
Sliders.
I was going to say sliders.
Sliders. Yeah, meatball sliders, filet
Kobe beef
mignon,
sliders, yeah.
Kobe beef, pork.
Yeah. Some of those are the popular dishes
Yeah.
that we see kind of consistently throughout the different restaurants.
Yeah.
And beers? Is it beer or is it more cocktails?
Both. Yeah, beer, cocktails, wine by the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
All of the above.
Yeah, all of the above usually. Wells.
And so where's like your favorite? I mean, without plugging, obviously. Like, what zone would you say is the best happy hours?
Well, we're downtown. I mean, this is our home. This is where we work and live. So, you know, we really like to support Chinatown. So we go down to Chinatown a lot. Probably go out there this afternoon, actually.
Yeah. And there are a few in Restaurant Row that are really good.
At Restaurant Row. So
yeah.
anything that for us personally, that's walking distance, we enjoy. But I know a lot of popular ones over in Ala Moana. Kailua has some really popular ones.
Yeah. And they're all on the app and the website too. So
Yeah, I mean, now you mentioned. I remember we talked your app, and I'm going to hold this up so that our listeners or viewers actually who are on Ustream can see kind of what it looks like. It's you can see there's an actual there's the restaurant. It shows where it is. It shows where the happy hour times are. So this one shows like 4 to 7 p.m. So don't show up at 7:15, right?
Exactly.
The atmosphere is a lounge atmosphere. It shows has a little tab here for the drinks. Oh, $1 off, wine by the glass. Do they do something, or do you have some sort of integration with social media? Like I know Big City Diner, they have like a Twitter Tuesdays kind of thing. Do you integrate social media with any of this stuff?
Right, actually, Big City Diners on our website and apps, but we have a daily special section that lists all their daily specials, like Twitter Tuesdays on there, and then we integrate social media, Facebook and Twitter, with our sharing capabilities. So if I wanted to share it or check in, we actually tag the restaurant social media, and then they get like a notification that somebody was talking or sharing about their information.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So there's a whole check-in rewards platform that's been integrated, and all of that's kind of shared on social media as well.
Yeah, I saw that. I tried to check in, but it said, sorry, you're not at this restaurant.
Right. So it's geolocation
Yeah, it's
based.
geolocation based, so you have to actually be there.
Yeah.
And then on the website, we have all the social media information as well.
Oh, so it's and as a user of this app, what does that mean for me if I check in? Do I get like a discount?
Yeah, you get a point. So we have a reward system where locations can participate with us, but basically you're rewarded a point for every location you check in. After 10 points, you can redeem your 10 points for a $10 reward. So on
that's
our
pretty
rewards
good.
tab, we have the participating locations, and say I want to, use my 10 points at the Grove in Kailua. I redeem my 10 points. It comes up with a $10 reward with a minimum purchase. I think it's $30. So you get $10 with a $30 purchase, and you just show it to your server at the Grove, and then you get $10 off.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. And see, it seems to me this is what really interests me is that you used Hawaii to create the product, right?
Right. So yeah.
So what's next?
Something that was perfect about Hawaii was that I think anybody who's got an idea for a startup can really start something in Hawaii, and if it works here, I honestly think it's going to be able to work anywhere. I mean, you've kind of got this test market where it's not necessarily isolated. You get people coming from the mainland, people from all over the world coming here. And I think it kind of provides for an ability to kind of test something out to see how the ecosystem of Hawaii picks it up. We did very well here, and we fielded a bunch of requests from several other cities. And right now we're in Portland, the Hamptons, and Hawaii. Those are the three places that we're in right now.
And we get requests. I mean, people want to start it in their city, use our service to start it in our platform to start it in their city. But we're strategically doing it, and not just blasting it out. We really want to structure the business.
Well, what is your clear vision? I mean, what is the purpose of your company?
We wanted to help. I mean, the purpose was to solve that problem that we had when we created the first version, which was to help people find actual information to save money. I mean, there are other, obviously, food and beverage resources that are out there. But one of the challenges that we've found is that they don't actually often have the actual information. So if you're trying to save money, and you have a good example of this, where you were trying to find out whether they had just drinks, just food.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole thing for me is, it's a refresher. We literally kept going to the same place and wouldn't try new things because it took a lot of work to honestly figure out what was there and how to get there and everything like that.
You're tired at the end of the day. You don't want to actually be working.
And I'm a foodie. I love food. Sorry, excuse me. I just wanted to be able to provide that to people to save money. But not only that, like, if Brandon and I love their happy hour, it's kind of like having a sample or a taste of their food. If I enjoy their happy hour and I enjoy the little tapas or tastings that I have, I'll go for dinner. Absolutely. So it's a good way to kind of like test out a new restaurant that you're going to.
And the last thing you wanted to do was to go to a restaurant for dinner and find out that they only had drinks available for the happy hour prices, right? Isn't that kind of the...
Yeah.
Yeah, because I noticed some had food, some had drinks. And from a restaurant's perspective, I would think, though, the reason that they do happy hour, I thought, was to bring people in. And so then they would come back for a full-price dinner.
Right,
For
exactly.
sure.
It's like the
For
tasting,
sure.
the sample.
And to be honest, we've tested that because that's what we've done. So so it's not just, let's just go drink and, never go back. It's basically kind of a refresher. When you're scrolling through the app or the website, you're like, oh, I haven't been there for a while. I should go back there. You know what I mean? Instead of getting in the same routine.
Now, do you know, I mean, I know I signed up for your app. I just wanted an email address and a password. I mean, do you collect any demographic information about the people? I mean, because, there's something different about people in their 30s versus their 20s versus their 40s, right?
Exactly. And actually, with the businesses, we supply that data to them. Who's looking at their information, who's checking in, at their location. what their age is, how what their gender is.
Yeah, not along with the names or the email addresses.
No.
None of the personally identifiable information. It's just that there's a chart, like a graph that says this is 60% male, 40% female, or something like that.
Yeah,
that's
your
checking in.
main age range is 25 to 34, or 40 to 47.
I don't remember seeing that on the sign up.
It's actually
It's optional.
Yeah, it's
It's
optional.
optional. Oh, I see.
So yeah, not
But a
everybody.
lot of people do it.
Yeah, most people do.
Yeah, most people do it. So, and it's really great because we can actually suggest things for the girls or suggest things for the guys when there's events going on and stuff.
So do you do like email blasts as part of
Emails
it?
and push notifications are coming up in the future.
Because
So.
the whole point of this is I want our listeners to be thinking in the back of their mind, they're like, wow, okay, so this is how they did it, right? We're trying to share this information. So what would you suggest someone do to be able to get that word out, to create that app? If you had one thing to tell them. If you just had one thing to tell them, you can tell us after the break.
Got it.
Got it.
Of course, those of you listening, stay tuned. We'll be back. This is ThinkTech Friday.
760 KGU.
Part of the Wall Street Business Network.
New accidents on the windward side, Kamehameha Highway by Kualoa Ranch. And we got one in Waipio, Kauka Boulevard at UK Street. If you're headed to west or central Oahu, conditions look typical. The Moanalua Freeway slows at Moanalua Gardens. H1 slows at the west end of the airport viaduct. Inbound traffic from the west slows when you get to the Middle Street merge. No problems to Hawaii Kai or the windward side.
Honey, if we had installed solar water heating last year, we would have saved about $600 on our electric bill.
Wow, that's like 40 pounds of poke.
Or 15 bikinis.
Or 800 pounds of rice.
Or 200 pairs of slippers.
Or 750 malasadas.
Well, that's a lot of malasada.
Solar water is the first step towards big energy savings. With Hawaii Energy's limited time rebate, get solar water heating for about $2,000 and reduce your electric bill up to 40%.
That's a lot of malasada.
Visit hawaiienergy.com/solarwater.
With the Kahiava Wind Farm on Maui and the Kahuku and Kawailoa Wind Farms on Oahu, First Wind is pleased to create clean, local sources of energy powered by Hawaii's trade winds. Understanding our unique environment and host culture, First Wind develops projects that support local communities and provide net benefits to native wildlife, embracing the concept of caring from Mauka to Makai. Hu Kamakani, may the wind blow towards a sustainable future for Hawaii's people. For more information, visit firstwind.com.
We're back, we're alive, and you're listening to ThinkTech Friday. I'm your host, Attila Seress, and we're here with Carey and Brandon Bennett, and it is Friday, so it's been a long week, but
A little too much happy. No.
a little bit too much happier. That's next. But of course, in this segment, we like to talk about some of your challenges and the kind of things that you guys have to deal with. Now, you mentioned that you want to take this app to the mainland, and that's great, but during the break we were talking about something really important, and that was that you guys made this in your spare time without funding while working a full-time job. You just locked yourself in a room and you worked really late.
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like fun.
Well,
It doesn't sound
honestly,
like fun. Is that the advice you would give people who want to want to really make it?
Yeah, you got to sacrifice. You got to sacrifice, and we're doing it for our future, the future of our family when we have children.
And you have to really believe in what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to pick something, and you have to be willing to stick with it.
Stick with it.
Something that I've seen through the tech community is that people will do certain things, and they have a hard time focusing on one topic. So I think we've done a pretty good job of staying with happy hour and being the best at what we do.
Believe me, there's ideas every week, and we're like, wow, that's great. And then I'm like, no, write it. So we literally, if we have an idea, we write it in a book and put it away. That's a great idea. Maybe we'll get to it one day. We focus 100% on this.
And she's good at that with me. I'll open my book and I'll go like, oh, what about this idea?
I want to
This
make
is so
a
much
video
fun.
game. Hold it. Hold it. Focus on this, you know.
I think there was a slogan I heard today. It was from like Fortune 500 CEO. He was saying, you know, the biggest enemy that you have as an entrepreneur is distraction. It's not competition. That is your biggest competition, is distraction. Like you said, why don't we make a video game out of this? You know, burger time, you know, in old school song. And I think what was the slogan? This is like, he said, whenever someone comes up to you and wants to pitch you a new idea, you say, what the focus are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
what's your focus?
And that's something that we're really, really good at. That you know, it seems like people that are creative and want to build, and they have so many different ideas. They can't choose where to go. And literally, we just said, this is what we're doing, and we're not going to pivot, and that's it.
Yeah, it's the creativity thing that I think gets people. So whenever we have a creative idea, we say, is this related to what we're doing? And if not, it goes in my book.
In your book. So it's still saved.
It's still saved,
it's still
yes.
saved.
It's still all those
saved. We have a
things,
lot of fun stuff, but one day.
Maybe decades down the road we'll have all of these.
You know, the reason why we did happy hour is it's not going anywhere. And with the economy, it's probably going to be even more popular and get bigger and longer. And you know, that it's something that the whole country does. I mean, if you look at hashtags for happy hour, it's all over.
Right,
I mean, that's what people focus on. So.
Well, and now you're talking about, you said you had the Hamptons and one other
Portland.
place. Portland. So why just those two places?
We're picking very strategically. I mean, we've gotten requests from people to bring what we have to their city from all over the place.
Yeah.
And
what, do you have to go there to set this up, or
well,
how do you do it?
So how we set up Hawaii, you need an affiliate to kind of start up their particular area. So we've had people contact us saying, hey, can we be your affiliate and start it up in this area? So
pair of boots on the ground.
So strategically, we are working first of all with people that we know or that you know
good
that
relationships with.
And we're just testing out our affiliate program, making sure, you know, any kinks we have, we can adjust and get really solid before we start spreading the affiliates out.
Right.
Is that a money issue?
No, I mean, we just decided which places we wanted to be just to make sure that the program that we've installed is actually kind of a feasible program for the expansion platform, and thus far it's proven to be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, we're just doing test markets and test markets in areas that we trust, and
Well, those are good areas, but I mean, we haven't really talked about, I mean, I know we're on the third section now, but we haven't really talked about how you guys are making a living off of this.
Right, so we have...
Where's that come in?
We have a monthly membership fee that we charge the restaurants. So every restaurant that's on the platform pays us to be on the site, and we give them the data. Yeah, it's a very small monthly fee, but we give them the data to prove that our service is actually bringing them people.
So your business is not just about selling. I mean, you're really selling a subscription-based service to someone. So you got to go out there and you have to convince a new restaurant that it's worth investing in this for each month, and that's why you need that revenue base.
Right, and at a certain point, they actually start coming to us too. The word gets out, people start checking in, people start hearing about it, seeing it.
So roll back to Happy Hour Hawaii, which started in 2011. Everything was free, and we were like, and it expanded so fast. Well, yeah, we had, you know, tens of thousands of downloads in a year, and over millions of views, and we're just like, oh my gosh, we have full-time jobs, you know, we can't financially maintain this and keep it up. And we were seeing all this data come in that was really benefiting the restaurants. And we were like, hey, if we can do a really small monthly fee to help support, you know,
cost of the server,
programming, us working on it, and giving them the data to prove that they're making their money back, then, you know, that's...
Well, but what is, do you have restaurants that fall off? Have you ever had someone, a restaurant who signed up who then later says, well...
The only ones that have fallen off have actually closed. Their actual restaurant.
I mean, we started this May 1st, so, I mean, literally it's been,
a little more than a month and a half.
45 days.
Yeah.
So, but, the larger we grow, I mean, for example, last month we were featured in USA Today nationally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were
Great.
featured in the travel section as one of the top 6 ways to save money while traveling to Hawaii. That gave us huge exposure to the mainland, and that's when the requests to start
the cities started coming.
Started flowing. Facebook messaging, emailing us, like, can I start it in Vegas? Phoenix.
Here's a piece of business advice.
Go for it.
Say yes. USA Today, you're not going to get that every day. It's definitely worth saying. I mean, get your affiliate program in order like yesterday.
Yeah.
And just start spreading it out. Because that's essentially how Facebook got started too. Right?
They were very specific on which schools I went to. Yeah.
Right, but they still, they had it together.
Yeah, they went quick. Yeah, they went quick.
And so as soon as you get that momentum, you don't want to say, oh no, we need to scale this back. So to our listeners listening, you're going to see happy hour in a city coming near you because now I'm going to hold you to it on the air.
Go for it. I like it. Good.
Yeah.
Definitely say yes, and it seems to me like you have a pretty good product that's unique.
Yep.
And if you don't launch it in these small towns or these other cities, someone else will.
Right, so there are a bunch of local happy hour websites and apps, and again, they don't have the kind of capability and technology that powers ours. I mean, ours has the check-in systems, reward systems, all that data is fed back.
I saw something like this at a DC maybe about a year ago.
DC happy hour?
Yeah, I think
DC
it was
happy
it.
hour.
Yeah.
We know every happy hour.
Right. and it was the same kind of thing. They had a check-in system, and they had this, all this stuff that popped up on your screen that was really annoying. I think yours is a lot more simple.
Well,
like that,
the thing that helps us that we've noticed with other sites is they can't keep it up to date because they're doing it all. And when you get hundreds and hundreds or thousands of happy hours, that's a 24-hour job just constantly updating. And if we give access to the businesses, and we reward them for updating. When I can see when they update, and in turn I reward them by blasting them on social media. Instagram, today I did the Four Seasons has a great happy hour on Lanai. So I made sure that I could just cover them across the networks to get people familiar. So I mean, we reward restaurants and bars for updating their information.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't nationally, you can't update 35,000 happy hours eventually if you had, you know what I mean?
But it's good to be able to reward them because then they're motivated to do it themselves.
Right. And the system is actually automated. Actually, if they log in and update their information, it actually tracks when their information was up to date, puts them in queue to feature them, and it actually kind of automates the homepage featuring system.
We give them a date so they know what day they'll be featured.
Well, and that's good. So I'm kind of thinking, an entrepreneur listening to the program would say, well, that's great. They were able to talk these restaurants into doing it. But it seems to me like the key is automation, and then that you give that reciprocation.
Yeah.
So you automate the ability for them to update their content, and then in turn you reward them in some way.
Well, literally from the minute a business signs up to the minute they set their profile live, 15 minutes. They can do everything. So
and that
literally,
includes the pictures, the menu items,
a
everything.
business can literally add their information and be live within 15 minutes. So starting up a city, you have to go kind of door to door. Here's my product. It's really, great. This is what we can provide. And just like Happy Hour Hawaii, I think Happy Hour Hawaii, we had a couple hundred locations, and I think we went to probably 75, and then all of a sudden they started signing up on their own.
Right.
So, I mean, that's how it works in each city. You got to get it going, and then once restaurants and bars see that there's starting to get a following and there's so many dozen locations, then they start signing up.
And that was interesting for me. So as the techie background guy, I'm thinking like, I'll build this site and it'll be great and everything will be automated, right? And the concept of having to go door to door to actually show somebody my website was interesting to me. But that's what it really does take. You have to be willing to walk up to somebody who has no idea what you are or what you're doing and say, I've built this. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this product, and I built it for the community. I built it for you, and this is what I think you'll be able to get out of it. to just shop it around and see where it goes. And Happy Hour Hawaii kind of took us into this direction, and we started getting all of these requests. And we're putting it together as quickly and as good as we can.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And the tighter we get in other cities, the easier it'll be to pick up other cities. And it's kind of like a domino effect. And it's like a give and take. You know, you need the users for the restaurants, and you need the restaurants
Chicken
for the
before
users.
the egg kind of thing.
So you just really have to make a smart decisions and a balance to make it work.
Well, and so like, what's next? What's your exit strategy? Are you planning on getting purchased, or
We've talked about that. As of right now, we're just continuing to grow it and building it. We've got a lot of stuff in the pipeline.
We have updates coming up for all the apps.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on. So for right now, we're just going to hold it close and keep working with it.
But more people?
Yeah.
More people, maybe?
Yeah, more people involved. Yeah. So.
You know what would be great is if you found a developer. So that way you wouldn't have to stay up till, 16
2
hours, 2 in the morning?
Yeah, but you know, when you develop on your own, it's your baby. And he loves every piece of what he's built.
I enjoy it.
Yeah,
but,
he enjoys it.
Yeah. So we'll pause on babies.
There you go. There you go.
All right, well, you're listening to ThinkTech Fridays. And of course, we're talking with Cary and Brandon about Happy Hour Pal and how it's going national. All right, stay tuned. We'll be back after the break.
760 KGU.
Part of the Wall Street Business Network.
Accidents right now on Kamehameha Highway at Radford Drive. Got one on the windward side on Kamehameha Highway at Kualoa Ranch. And in Hawaii Kai, we've got one reported on Kalanianaole Highway at Lunalilo Home Road. No problems, though, going east from town to Hawaii Kai. Windward Drive is wet, but no problems. And if you're going west, the H1 slows at the airport on-ramp on the viaduct. The Moana Lewis slows at Fort Shafter Flats.
Hawaii, the state of clean energy, is also brought to you by Hawaiian Electric Company, powering the growth and development of Hawaii since it was chartered by King Kalakaua in 1891. Today, Hawaiian Electric and its subsidiaries, Maui Electric and Hawaii Electric Light Company, serve more than 95% of our state, providing reliable electric service essential to our quality of life. The Hawaiian Electric companies are also leading our transition to clean energy by increasing our renewable energy use and improving energy efficiency. We're reducing Hawaii's dependence on imported oil and providing a more sustainable and secure future for Hawaii. For more information, visit hawaiisenergyfuture.com. Hawaii, the state of clean energy, is also brought to you by the State Energy Office of the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism. How can we secure a better future for Hawaii? One way is clean energy, and the State Energy Office is steering Hawaii to that clean energy future. Hawaii is rich with natural renewable resources, the sun, the wind, the ocean, and the land, and they are all being tapped to meet Hawaii's clean energy initiatives to generate electricity, create jobs, spur economic growth, and reduce our dependence on imported foreign oil. To learn more, visit energy.hawaii.gov.
We're live, we're back, and you're listening to ThinkTech Friday. I'm your host, Attila Seress, and we're talking about happy hour.
Yay!
And earlier we were talking about healthcare, and then we started talking about chili fries. So it seems to be
It's
a
Friday.
good
It's Friday
direction.
too. This is actually on our website and apps. This is the most popular day for PAL Honda searches.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Friday,
Thursdays and
Friday
Fridays.
afternoon, Thursdays and Fridays is the big pickup.
We actually also see a big pickup on Mondays because I think people are perhaps dreading the work week going,
Yeah, they're
okay,
like,
where
I
am I
hate
going to
Mondays.
go on Friday? Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate Mondays. It's time for a cocktail.
Yeah.
Do restaurants know this? Do they know that like Mondays and Fridays are big days?
They can see, well, especially on our back end, since our graphs show day by day, they can see the pickups.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it'll kind of wave up and down. during the week.
It's a graph, so they can see the pickups of how many views they get.
Now, when I think of happy hour, I think of weekdays. Are there happy hour on weekends too?
There
Yeah,
are.
oh yeah.
Oh, lots.
Late night, there's, late night's big, for a lot of people, and there's more and more late nights coming up. Not very much in the beginning, but people are starting to add the late nights, which is great. But yeah, Saturdays, Sundays are a good day for people to go to happy hour too, but definitely Friday. I think it's just like, finally, I'm done with work,
Your eyes got very big when you were saying Friday.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the way we work, it's every day's, work for us, but
Do
in a
you
good
use
way.
your own app though?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well-
you look at it and say like, oh, I wonder what's going on.
No, I pretty much memorized every single
See,
menu.
I have to use it. She maintains more of the relationships, and
I'm-
I'm building.
Yes,
so
I'm the relationship.
someone will
marketing.
ask me, Brandon, where should I go at 4:15
So
on a
if you-
Sunday?
Yeah.
I go straight to her,
Yeah.
or I pull up the app.
Yeah, but I know everything by heart pretty much. I've worked with these locations for years. I work individually with every owner or manager, so they know me, I know them. We've met in person many times, so yeah, I kind of have it all in here.
Well, so speaking of what's up in here,
Mm-hmm.
tell me what's next. I mean, let's pretend that you go to the beach and there's a surfer who walks up to you and says, "Hey, I really heard about your app. This sounds great, but what are you doing next? What's next? I mean, are you working with them to maybe?" Well, I gave you some ideas during the break, so why don't you tell me what you think?
Well, so for right now, I mean, the goal right now is to just expand, especially in the cities that we're currently in, to pick some new ones up, and just to get more restaurants involved in the product.
Yeah, I mean,
So
we
more
add
of the
we add
same.
we add locations every week. We do have things in the queue. We have things already built that we're going to be releasing in Hawaii first, which is great because still we'll always test everything we do
we're
in
gonna
this market first.
maintain that test mind where you release something in
In
Hawaii
Hawaii.
as the kind of the ecosystem and
Yeah.
of technology, and see how it plays out, and then roll it out.
Right. So in a couple of months, we'll do a couple new releases that we've already built in the back end. But right now, just we worked with a lot of locations on Happy Hour Hawaii, so we're still transferring them over. So literally weekly, we're still adding new locations. So that's just my goal to get everybody transferred over.
So it's the real boring, tedious type of work that you're involved in right now.
Yeah.
But tell us about the exciting stuff. Are you doing like anything with like video? How about any sort of nonprofit or donation type things?
we
Are you picking
actually-
up interns?
We actually had some people approach us for internships, so we've talked about, and I would really, really love to get a tech intern
Yeah.
at some point.
Any tech interns out there, like Brandon is proficient in a lot of
Do you
languages.
like PHP, MySQL, and that kind of iOS development?
iOS and yeah, so it's really cool to see how he kind of just taught himself, and it's pretty inspirational, honestly.
Yeah, and I've thought actually about doing some, like giving back a little bit, and maybe hosting some events or something like that at a local community college or something like that, and kind of giving talks about how to do a startup from the ground, kind of a do-it-yourself for an app. Yeah, for an app. I'm sorry, for like a strictly technology-based something. But because everything's content managed, I mean, it can apply to a wide range of things. I mean, it doesn't have to be a happy hour app. It could be something completely unrelated. So
the next Craigslist.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and I'm full of ideas of those kinds of things, and I'd love to use some of that experience and give back to the community.
We're also going to build in, a little bit more features that are interactive for our users, where they can work with basically the food items themselves, like what their personal favorites are, suggest happy hours we don't have. So we're going to try to make the app a little bit more interactive for them, so we can hear their voice. I mean, I want to know when they use the app what they want. So that's what we're going to kind of push in there.
Oh, so you want to get that feedback?
Oh, of
right?
course. Yeah.
We're trying to make it as much as a two-way street as possible. Right
they're
now,
just like us. They want to save money, so
Yeah.
I want as much feedback as possible. I appreciate it.
Is there like a rating system you're going to add in here?
There is currently a rating system right now on the iOS device. We're going to be adding that into. I'm actually updating the Android app right now, so that'll come out. Like Carey mentioned earlier, that we're going to have some stuff specific to each of the items.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are in the pipeline for soon release, but they're not out yet.
Yeah.
You don't want to spill the beans.
Not
just
yet.
Right now.
There's one that I think we'll wait on, but it'll be great. So it'll be a lot of fun. We're kind of flipping the whole happy hour on its head, so it'll be fun.
You're flipping the happy hour on its head.
Yeah. Don't even try.
That's it. That's all we're gonna give.
I'm just listening here. It sounds like you're going to be doing something revolutionary.
It's different.
Giving you the opportunity. You only have a few minutes left to disclose.
I'm not going to disclose.
Oh boy. Well.
Yeah.
And
stay tuned.
I like the idea of your giving some talks to some interns. People, because I get those emails occasionally. People say, "Hey, I got this great idea for an app. Can you build it for me for $500?" And we say, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people have a misconception that it's really easy, that it's just really quick.
There's a billion apps out there. How hard could it be?
Yeah, exactly. I think there are 100, I don't know how many iOS developers there are out there now, but it is a very time-consuming, laborious process, and everything has a right way of doing it and a wrong way of doing it, and a bunch of things in the middle. And I'd love to share some of those practices with the community.
And to be honest, when we started Happy Hour Hawaii, we did look for somebody to develop for us, and then we're like, oh, we can't afford that.
Well, what kind of prices were you getting to develop?
5, 10, 15,000.
So pretty much all your savings would go towards
it. Yeah.
So instead of being like, oh, we're not going to be able to do this. I looked at him and he was like, well, I guess I'll start learning how to build an app. Literally, we already had the website, and instead of saying, oh, well, we're never going to be able to afford to build an app, he's just like, well, I'll just teach myself. I mean, you can teach yourself. You just have to devote the time.
You got to be willing to put in some serious hours.
And think that, okay, I'm doing this for good.
So where would someone start? Can they go to your website and read your blog?
We have a blog.
Brainstorming blog about how to.
Yeah, right now, actually, we can post some of the links that I use to get started on some of our social networks and stuff like that. For people who are interested in getting started with it, I mean, obviously my initial recommendations are going to be do what I did, which was go to YouTube, and I'll post some people that I followed on YouTube, and literally, I mean, some of these people, they posted hundreds of hours of tutorials on how to do specific tasks.
Oh, really?
And that's how I learned. It's kind of each component is a different module. So
there's one guy that we literally have in the back of our mind to thank you for. He's from the UK. He taught Brandon so much.
Yeah.
So much, and his videos were at that time uploaded for free.
Yeah. So hundreds of hours that these people give to the YouTube community, and
Wow.
Yeah.
So go online, and they can always contact you. What is it, happyhourpal.com? Is that the right?
Yeah. Our email and phone number, I believe, is on the website. Happy Hour Pal on Facebook. Happy Hour Pal HI on Twitter.
Happy Hour HI.
Yeah, it's Hawaii specific.
Hawaii specific.
Happy Hour Pal HI.
But soon to be seen.
Yeah. Oh.
Soon to be seen elsewhere.
Yeah.
That's gonna
so we do have a larger handle too.
Yeah,
so we
I have Happy Hour Pal as well, but Happy Hour Pal HI was my transfer over from Happy Hour Hawaii.
And Happy Hour Pal, and then they can bug you for internships. That'd be great.
Yeah, we're willing to fill your price, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
We're just two people, just creating something to help people save money. And you
just work it out of your home.
Yeah, we got a spare. We got an office set up. We got iMacs and
Yeah, computers everywhere.
High-speed internet.
Yeah. Our spare bedroom is just one giant. Yeah. It looks kind of like this studio. Just kind of stuff everywhere.
Full of screens.
Our studio's got a lot of cool stuff.
It does.
It does. With that, I'm going to have to end because we are out of time. But thank you guys so much for
We had so much fun.
Yeah,
thank you so much for the time.
The time just went by.
It did.
And of course, if any of our listeners missed any part of the program, go ahead and visit our website, thinktechhawaii.com. You can download the podcast. And of course, if you like the show, give us a like on Facebook. You can find us on ThinkTech Hawaii. And this is Attila Seress. I'm the host for ThinkTech Fridays. And thanks to our chief engineer, Jack Waters, account manager, and my personal Volkswagen buddy, Patrick Leonard, the board operator. Yes, Leah, I know you're listening. Go Doctor Who. Yes, it's coming up soon. Jay Fidel, his passion makes ThinkTech possible. And thank you, the listener, for listening. You guys make the show possible. We'll be back next Friday, but be sure to tune in Wednesday with Jay Fidel for more ThinkTech. Remember to appreciate life, do good to others, and have a great weekend. Aloha.
The offers to roll in. It becomes a second job.
Getting the house appraised and the comps.
The money that you think you're going to save, you end up losing. I've bought and sold homes before, and now the first thing I do is call a realtor.
Realtors have the experience to price your home so it can sell for up to 16% more than selling it yourself.
Using a realtor is a smart financial decision.
Get the facts straight about selling your own home. Talk to an agent, and be sure to ask if that agent is a realtor, a member of the National Association of Realtors.
It's way too risky to sell your house on your own.
iPads. Google Trusted.
Yes, right to your left. Logo.
Here you go.
We'll find it. There we go. So what it is, they have to go through like this process where they screen them, and then
He's my little guy.
they come in and then they see.
Oh, this was actually, we were looking for a
Like you can go through a business just like you have with the
Oh, I know.
and they come and they do like a full 360 thing.
It's a really cool photo.
And I was working with this photographer who just got certified. There's only like 600 photographers in the whole country because there's so many tests and certifications they have to go through.
Google Trusted Photographer. This is absolutely new to me. I haven't heard anything about this whatsoever.
So, let's see if they have a nice little video we can watch. Here we go. So this will show it. And it's worldwide.
And you obviously pay to have that person
Yes.
come in and use.
That's the thing, right? So it goes in, and then this is like what it looks like online, right?
When they're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you just keep swimming.
Yeah.
I mean, basically.
Just
keep churning.
Yeah, see, so the idea is like you have like essentially like the street view, a 360-degree street view. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I mean, if you want, I'll put you in touch with the photographer.
Sure,
And you
yeah,
guys
no,
can do, like,
absolutely.
a referral fee or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
And then, because all the businesses are going to be doing this, all the restaurants, everything.
Yeah,
And
it looks great. Sorry, let me get out of your way here. How can?
And baby, you need to unhook yourself.
Okay, well, how about we do one thing at a time here, which is get off.